Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Your Excellencies, honored guests, colleagues, and friends. My name is Zahra Babar, and on behalf of the Center for International and Regional Studies at Georgetown University in Qatar, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you. Before we delve into the substance of the program, I want to take a moment to acknowledge each and every one of you for joining us here tonight. Your presence here signifies a shared commitment, not only to wanting to gain a deeper understanding of the complex region, the complex history of this region, but also to the importance of reflection and dialogue. The effects of war and conflict are seldom circumscribed within national borders. And while it is undeniable that it was Iraq and its citizens that bore the brunt of the 2003 invasion's most profound and most immediate consequences, it is equally true that the far-reaching repercussions of those events reverberated across the region and around the world and left us with an enduring imprint on our present. Earlier in the spring of this year, close to the actual date marking the 20th anniversary of the invasion of Iraq, our Dean, Dr. Safwan Masri, and the chair of our faculty, Professor of History, Dr. Edward Kolla, were having a conversation, noting, among other things, the gravity of certain significant historical moments and their capacity to shape our world for decades to come. During that conversation, they came to the realization that we are an American university. Among other things, we teach history and politics, and we are based in the Middle East. Surely it was incumbent upon us to do something to mark this important occasion. And it was the resoundingly enthusiastic institutional response to that initial thoughtful exchange that brings us here together many months later. Tonight, we begin a 3-day conversation with policymakers, with scholars, with activists, with civil society actors from Iraq, from within the region, and from across the globe. They will grace us with their insights and expertise. I am confident that in the days to come, we will all find ourselves enriched with new knowledge and a deeper understanding of these topics and issues that we're here to explore together. For playing a pivotal and inspirational role in germinating the idea for this conference, it is my deep honor and pleasure to invite Dr. Edward Kolla, Chair of our faculty and Professor of History, to the podium to share his remarks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the faculty of Georgetown University in Qatar, I'd like to add my welcome and also to extend some thanks. Thank you, first of all, to Zahra, to the whole team at the Center for International and Regional Studies, and everyone at Georgetown who helped organize what is, I'm sure, going to be a truly amazing conference. Thank you also to all of our distinguished guests, participants, and presenters. As Zahra mentioned, I'm a historian, so please indulge me in one very brief historical anecdote. The Iraq War was one of the, if not the defining moment of my early adulthood. Much like the Cuban Missile Crisis or Nasser's coup in Egypt could have been for previous generations. I remember standing, a senior in college, the exact same age as many of our students, in my best friend's living room on March 17th, 2003, as George W. Bush delivered his ultimatum to Saddam Hussein: surrender and leave, or else. It was, frankly, a spine-chilling moment. This conference, of course, will examine the aftermath for our region of that fateful time. My most important role now and honor is of introducing Georgetown's Provost. For those not familiar with American higher education, at many schools, the Provost is the Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Robert Groves has been Provost of Georgetown University since 2012, and he is also the Gerard Campbell Society of Jesus Professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics and the Department of Sociology. His research examines the social, cognitive, and behavioral influences on statistics. In true Georgetown fashion, Bob is an accomplished scholar and also committed to public service, having served most notably and most recently as director of the US Census Bureau, which is a presidential appointment. Please join me in welcoming Provost Groves to the stage.
Good evening and welcome to all of you. I am honored on behalf of the larger global Georgetown community to join the dignitaries, the advocates, the scholars, and the journalists in what is, I think, a unique gathering, something we should all be proud of. I want to thank the organizers. For any of you in the audience who've ever organized a meeting like this, you realize that it is a million details and it's heavy work. I thank the CIRS group for doing this. And I want to reflect on why it is appropriate for Georgetown to be part of this gathering. Georgetown, like all universities, play a unique role as a societal institution. We are seekers of truth. We do so in a never-ending, a relentless, a dispassionate, an open seeking of truth. And for Georgetown, in the Jesuit tradition, founded in the 1400s, the one way we seek truth is that we seek dialogue across differences. Now, dialogue requires seeking out different perspectives. It requires a listening to those perspectives, assuming goodwill on the part of all actors. And then it requires a reflection, a synthesis of different perspectives, a discernment of how we can take in these new facts to get closer to truth. So truth-seeking is a group enterprise. It is best done in heterogeneous groups. It is best exercised among those whose circumstances provide a different lens on the same facts. So it is therefore quite fitting that Georgetown University be the host of this gathering, this unique gathering here. Through the leadership of Dean Masri and Zahra Babar, who you've just met, we gather together for Hiwaraat, a dialogue. We seek to hear, but also to listen carefully to what we're hearing. We seek to compare perspectives. We seek a reflection, a synthesis of views. And we seek through that over the next few days to get just a little closer to the truth. This is indeed a noble enterprise that we all engage in over the next few days. I want to welcome you to this conference and welcome to Georgetown. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us this evening. I really couldn't be happier than I am at this moment, kicking off our Hiwaraat signature series. Between now and Saturday afternoon, as you've heard, leading scholars, analysts, and journalists, as well as individuals with first-hand knowledge and experience in Iraq during the past 2 decades, will discuss the legacy of the 2003 US-led invasion. Our experts will look at how the war inexorably changed Iraq as a nation and changed the lives of its citizens, and how the war changed attitudes and expectations across the region, as long-established international diplomatic relationships were upended and reset. The United States, as you know, has had a hand in the region for some 8 decades. From FDR's famous meeting with King Abdulaziz aboard the USS Quincy on that fateful day in February of 1945, which set the parameters of a relationship and a regional dynamic that would not be challenged until Barack Obama's presidency. To the US and UK instigated Iranian army-led overthrow of Prime Minister Mossadegh in 1953, to the storming by US Marines of the beaches of Beirut in 1958, marking America's first ever overt military operation in the Middle East. A mission that would mark the beginning of decades of American combat expeditions in the region. And just as locals waved at and cheered American soldiers in Beirut 45 years prior, they did so in Baghdad in 2003. In this case, in anticipation of salvation from the tyranny of Saddam Hussein. But 20 years onward, it is almost impossible to find an Iraqi town or family that hasn't been devastated as a result of the invasion and its ensuing occupation. Tonight and over the next 2 days, we will explore what the invasion meant for Iraq and for the region. We will examine implications for global diplomacy and for US foreign policy toward the region. We will also discuss how attitudes toward the US in the region and beyond may have shifted as a result of its failures in Iraq and Afghanistan, and whether those failures further eroded America's moral authority, already tenuous as a result of its stalwart support for Israel over the decades. Now, there is another 20-year anniversary that I want to talk to you briefly about. This one is a happy one. Next year, Georgetown University in Qatar celebrates 2 decades since its founding, right here in Doha, an education city in partnership with and because of the great vision of Qatar Foundation and its chairperson, Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser Al Misnad. As we approach our 20th anniversary, we have been reflecting on where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go. Our eyes are focused on the next 20 years. We are embarking on an ambitious strategy to become the preeminent global campus in the region. We are investing in and expanding our academic offerings. We are strengthening and growing our faculty. We are creating and we are innovating. And we are engaging with our communities locally, regionally, and globally. This weekend's event offers a preview of what is to come. Tonight, we launch our Hiwaraat conference series. Hiwaraat is the Arabic word for dialogues, because it is through dialogue, as you've heard from Provost Groves, that we learn from one another. Through dialogue, we understand the world better and are able to plan for a better future. Hiwaraat is about bringing together scholars, practitioners, and the public for an exploration of important, relevant, and timely questions. It is about offering an inclusive, engaged space in search of innovative solutions to present and future challenges. In the weeks and months ahead, we will delve into the history of Islamophobia, the continuing challenges concerning Afghanistan, the future of water security in the Gulf, and the social and cultural dynamics shaping the global energy landscape. Ours is obviously not the only conversation taking place on the anniversary of the Iraq invasion tonight. But I am convinced it will be one of the most authentic, nuanced, and counterintuitive, because it is connecting the global South with the global North, because it is taking place in the world, because it is happening here, and it features people from here. Our guests and experts this weekend are immersed in this region's storied and often troubled history, its hopes and aspirations, and its heartbreaks. And perhaps none more so than tonight's keynote speaker, Dr. Barham Saleh, who served as the 8th president of Iraq from 2018 to 2022. Dr. Saleh is an Iraqi Kurdish politician with years of public service and leadership experience, including a stint as former Prime Minister of the Kurdistan region and former Deputy Prime Minister of the Iraqi federal government. His Excellency has a deep and profound personal understanding of the complexities involved in Iraq's political, social, and historical landscape, based on his long-term engagement in the governance and development of the country. A highly educated man with multiple degrees in engineering, way to go, including a PhD, he married a highly educated woman, Dr. Sarbagh Saleh, who is with us tonight. And he founded, with Dr. Sarbagh, the American University of Iraq, Suleimani. It has been my privilege to call President Saleh and Dr. Sarbagh and their two children, Kali and Suwar, dear friends. Let me tell you a few things about him that you will not find in his bio. Barham Saleh is a man of unimpeachable integrity. He is humble and he is modest, an astute listener more than a boisterous talker. He engages soberly with those across the aisle, and perhaps most unique and admirable in a political leader, he is capable of reflection and self-criticism, which explains why he graciously accepted my invitation to be here tonight to deliver our keynote address, and to stay on afterwards for a sit-down interview with Peter Harling, one of the most original and incisive analysts in the region. Peter has more than 20 years' experience working across the Middle East as an academic, journalist, and political advisor. For Le Monde Diplomatique, he reported from Iraq before, during, and after the invasion. He is founder and director of Synapse, a Beirut-based consultancy group focused on developing innovative forms of knowledge production on important regional issues. What differentiates Peter from the pack is a grasp of the region that manages to be both practical and scholarly, often in the same breath. Those of you who have read his work know he is an extraordinarily gifted writer. He is also in possession of a quality in too short a supply among analysts: deep empathy for the people he writes about. Finally, and this last credential will be dear to the hearts of students and faculty of Georgetown, Peter studied biology before switching to political science and sociology, after which time, Peter claims, he lived happily ever after.